Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well today. It is Monday. It's a beautiful day, but we're fighting with hawks. I've been out twice doing rounds, making sure that everybody's okay. Solomon's sounding off, Tut's sounding off. Two of my older hens started sounding off. I went up there. All of the young birds and the bantams were in the barn. They're secure. They're good. Um, I mean, they're not secure. They can come back out, but they know that they can go in there and hide. So I was good with that. My girls up here, they know how to hide. So everybody's learning when they hear that and everybody sounds off that they need to get somewhere safe. So that's Hawk training today. Hawk 101. Okay. What else? I need to divide up chicken, make some broth, make some rice with the broth so that way this week everybody gets rice with chicken broth. I'll give the bones and scraps to the chickens, and then all of the meat will go to Solomon and Thor, as well as the neighbor cat, who got his thigh this morning. I just gave him a whole thigh and he took off running. Funny story about that, really quickly. The neighbors were out on their back porch, and every day the cat comes up. In the morning, he will come up for carry out. Normally in the afternoon, once the chickens are not around, he'll come up and sit um, by the cellar steps and wait for carryout. Now at night, I put out dry food and milk for him, and he can do that all night and into the morning before the chickens come out. Because once the chickens get out, they're going to be over there messing around with it, and that's his area. So anyway, the neighbors were out on the back porch, on their front porch, and they saw him take off running with something in his mouth. Well, what they didn't know was I had just given him, I think it was a chicken breast that day. It was like a half of a chicken breast, and I gave it to him, and he took off running. When I came around the house, the neighbors were kind of looking at me. I said, "Oh," I said, "you saw the carry out." And then one, the lady's like, "Oh my gosh," she says, "I thought he killed one of your chickens." I said, "No." I said, "Every day I give him something, and he takes it. I mean, he runs off with it." So this morning he got his carry out. Yesterday he got carry out. And I try to do it a couple times a week at least, but I do try to keep the dry food and milk out there for him because I think that's more efficient, cost effective for me. So anyway, today I'm going to be prepping buckets. It's my goal. I've got 2 empty buckets with lids right now that need to be filled. I've got tons of product. As a matter of fact, I walked in the house I walked in the house Saturday after going to the Family Dollar, JC, and Dollar General, and I start bringing in the stuff. And my husband just looks at me and he goes, "Stop!" I was like, "Stop what?" And he says, "We have too much. I can't." I said, "It's okay." I said, "I'll get it all put away. It'll be good." I'm the prepper in my house, and my husband is he's patient with it, but it does bother him that we have so much stuff. Um, but then once I put everything away and get things in buckets and get get the kitchen back to a normal workable kitchen, it gets better. So hopefully I can get all that stuff put away. I've accumulated 3 full milk crates of canned goods in the past 4 months, 5 months. So those 3 have to be rotated into the pantry as I pull from the pantry. I will rotate that through. The cabinets are full right now. All of the olives we have, it's crazy. But I'm going to be doing some buckets today, and I want to first let everyone know that I am one of those preppers. I do not calorie count. I don't do serving counts. I don't do that with my preps. My preps are get what you can at the price you can get it, put it away, and utilize it when you need it. Rotate through it if you have to. And in layman's terms, I get what I can afford. I put it away and I rotate through it, or I put it in buckets and set it aside, repackage later. Here's my thing on that. I'm not worried about my calories. I'm not worried about the serving sizes because in a bad situation, I'm going to know that I need to be conservative with my my food if that's all we have. I'm going to know that. Number two, I'm going to try to feed myself as nourishing as I can. However, I am not worried about preservatives and toxins that people like to talk about in the foods that are preserved. I'm not going to worry about that. If things are bad and I need to eat, I'm really not going to worry about what the preservatives are that are in it. And to those who say, well, I would never, after 2 days of not eating, you would. And I'm just saying that. For example, I'm not a huge fan of canned meat. I'm not. Tuna's great. Don't get me wrong. But when it comes to Spam and Treat, or, the meatloafs, the canned meatloafs that you get, I'm not a super fan of it. I grew up on it. We had Spam. Every so often, Dad would fry up Spam, or when we were out on a fox hunt and we were sitting at the fireside, we had Spam and potatoes and eggs or whatever we would take and listen to the hounds run. I'm okay with it, but I'm not like super. I don't eat it every day. But in a bad situation, some Spam is pretty daggone good. And those people that say they would never ever eat it, after 2 days of being hungry, you would eat it right out of the can. I'm just saying, being hungry is something people are not used to. Surviving on what you can find is something that people are not used to, that are going to be talking about preservatives and the food that you put away. If you're hungry, you'll eat it. And if you eat it, you will be nourished. And you're going to need it. So the food shaming on, well, this has GMOs, this is natural, this has preservatives. I don't fuss with that. Like I said, I don't fuss with calorie counting. I don't fuss with servings or anything like that. I buy what I can afford and I put it away. I put away things that I like. I put away things that I don't like. Because let me tell you something, in a situation, I'm going to like it a lot. And that's just my opinion on it. So later today, sometime, I'm going to get in the kitchen and we're going to pack 2 prepper buckets out of all of the food that I have collected in a while. So I've got a lot of food to put in buckets, and I hope that you join me. Watch the video, maybe understand a little bit more about what I'm doing. Now, something else you're not going to see go into the buckets are water. You're not going to see can openers. You're not going to see, what else that you would think, silverware or cooking equipment or utensils, because here's the thing on that. Everybody should have a go bag, whether it's a go bag to go or a get home bag, which is in your car. And all of those things should be in that bag. So when I go to grab a bucket, I've already got my bag. Whoever's with me has their bag. And so we have all of those things there. That bucket is purely for food. That's it. That's all it is. Food cache buckets. If they were camouflaged, you could take them and cache them, bury them, and have those spots if you wanted to. I don't do that. So that's what the bucket's all about. If that made sense to you, great. If it didn't, I'm sorry. I'm trying. You'll have a great day. Hugs from a distance. Stay safe. Get your mind right. Learn some skills. And just prepare. Bye, y'all. Hugs from a distance.